Albert's Bigger Than Big Idea by Eleanor May, illustrated by Deborah Millman. Albert and his sister Wanda were going to the People Kitchen with their cousin Pete. "Here's the plan," Cousin Pete said. "Head straight for that big fruit bowl. Snatch a piece of fruit and stuff it in your bag." Cousin Pete handed out the bags. His bag was small. Wanda's bag was smaller. Albert's was the smallest. "Why do I get the smallest bag?" Albert asked. "You are the smallest mouse," his sister pointed out. "Don't worry about the bags," Cousin Pete said. "Worry about the cat." Albert smiled. "I may be the smallest, but I'm fast," he said. "That cat will not catch me." The three mice scrambled up onto the counter. Cousin Pete popped a strawberry into his small bag. Wanda squeezed a grape into her smaller bag. "Albert," Wanda said, "what in the world are you doing?" Albert dropped a plum. "I think that plum might be too big for you," Cousin Pete said. "It's not too big for me," Albert gasped, "but it's too big for my bag." "I know which fruit will fit in your bag," Wanda said. "The smallest fruit in the bowl, a blueberry. It's just right for the smallest bag." When they got home, Albert went into his room and shut the door. Wanda knocked. "Want to play Cheesyland?" "No, thank you," Albert said. Their mother knocked. "I made blueberry muffins with your blueberry." "I'll eat one later, Mom," Albert said. Finally, Albert came out of his room. "Look what I made!" "That's a big bag," his mother said. "Very big," Wanda said. Albert said, "I hope it's big enough for a plum." When they went back to the fruit bowl, Albert took his big bag. "Look, Albert," Wanda said. "Your bag is big enough for a plum." "Albert?" But Albert wasn't looking. He was staring at a peach. "Wow," he said. "It's even bigger than a plum." Albert hardly spoke on the way home. After dinner, he went back into his room and shut the door. "Look what I made now," Albert said. "That's even bigger than your other bag," his mother said. Wanda said, "It's bigger than you." The next day, they went back to the fruit bowl. Wanda and Cousin Pete helped Albert load the peach into his bigger bag. "Okay, Albert, let's go," Cousin Pete said. "Albert?" Albert was staring at a watermelon. "Wow," he said. "That must be the biggest fruit in the whole world." When they got home, Albert went into his room and shut the door. He stayed in there for a long, long time. "Ta-da!" Albert announced. "My goodness," Albert's mother said. "That's the biggest bag yet." "It's the biggest bag I've ever seen," Wanda said. When Cousin Pete arrived, he stared at Albert's bag. "How are we going to get that bag all the way up to the counter?" Albert hadn't thought about that. "We can do it together," Wanda said. As Cousin Pete scampered ahead, Wanda and Albert dragged the bag across the kitchen floor. A shadow fell across their path. The cat! It was very big. As big as a watermelon, Albert thought, but with a lot more teeth. "Run, Wanda said. Albert stared at the cat. He couldn't move. The cat pounced. Wanda yelled, "Albert, open the bag and jump!" Albert jumped one way. Wanda jumped the other. Then they scurried to safety. Cousin Pete was right, Albert said. That bag was too big. Too big for getting fruit, Wanda agreed. But just the right size to catch